Hey folks, time for my annual video of my light display. I like to do a video because I have certain lights that move and twinkle and do different things. So I like for people to be able to see that. This year's display is a new record, as usual, 53,240 lights. I'm going to take you around the display, and as you know, if you've followed my display for a while, I am on a highway, so there may be some cars come by while I'm recording, but hopefully not too many. Anyways, I hope you all enjoy it. So we're going to start on the side of the display. This is if you're coming from Buckfield, if you are at all familiar with the area. But this is what you're going to see first on the right-hand side. Now, my display does cover both sides of the road, so there's that side too. That's my forest of lights. We'll get into that later. Right now, I wanted to focus on this. This is one of my new features this year. I've always wanted to do something like waterfall in a pond. And this year I was able to pull it off in a fashion that I think should withstand the snow. So this is my waterfall and pond. As you'll see, I'll see if the camera will pick them up. I even put little fish lights in there. The camera's probably not showing those real well, but anyways, they're there. Got a nice little deer next to the pond, and these snowmen. I've had these for a while, just haven't used them for anything. So they're there standing around the pond and waterfall. Then of course next we have probably one of my favorite things I've ever created is my freedom tree, I like to call it, and my American flag. The freedom tree is, I believe, about 18 feet tall, and it has 1,800 lights on it, roughly. So there's that. There's my flag. Those make a good combo. They really look well together. So there's that section. Those three things are the first thing you'll see on the right side. Then of course we got the house. I'll try to get the best angle of it here, if I can do so without breaking my neck. And now we're moving on to the house. As you can see, I have, I don't know how well the camera's going to show them, but I do have two laser projectors set up on each side of the house. And all those dots going all over the place. The kids really like that. And then we have, to us, the most important part of the display is we are Christians. We have our 12-piece nativity. Some of these figures I've had since 1998. And then on top of that I have our little ceramic village. We like to call that our little town of Bethlehem. And then moving on to this side of the house, we have 6 trees on the front of the house. And I'm going to be walking in the road here, so I might have to stop if a car comes. I have these C9s here in this lilac trees. And now we're on the other side of the house. Now this one, the camera's really picking up the lasers. I have two projectors, laser projectors on this side as well, and they really show up. And then this is my other mega tree. On this side, I've had this mega tree here before, but this is completely freshly built this year. It is the tallest one I've had to date. It is, I believe, 22 feet tall. So here's our 4-foot tall letters. I didn't get the spacing very good this year, but you can tell it says joy to the world. Then there's our cross in the middle. Then we have peace on earth and Merry Christmas. And now we're going to head over to what I call my forest of lights. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of walk along this forest of lights. I don't know the amount of trees off the top of my head. I believe the whole display has 131 trees, and the majority of that is on this side. So I'm just going to walk all the way down to the end, and then we'll go inside and I'll show you some of my favorite parts. There is my forest of lights. This was one of my new features this year. I finally stretched the cable across my driveway. I've wanted to do that for a long time, and it allowed me to make these two circular trees on each side of the driveway. I call them my mini mega trees. And then I thought, well, how perfect would it be to put a wreath in the middle of that cable? So I did that, and I got these really fantastic motion icicle lights. I love them. They change all kinds of different patterns. The camera's not showing them real well, but they're pretty neat. And then also this year I totally redid my piano made out of lights. If you follow my page on Facebook, you've seen that. But I used LED strips and plastic sheeting and redid that. And then of course we have our cross. And then we have our brown shed, as we refer to it. Has these chaser lights on the front. That's always one of my favorite trees. Then on the back here I added 2 trees on the back of the shed. And then here is our white shed, and I had an extra laser projector this year, so I put it on the white shed. Again, no idea how much this is going to show up on camera, but you can see the lasers. And the really cool part is it gets up into the trees, and it really looks wild on those branches. So this is the view from inside the forest of lights. I have 2 benches in here. I encourage people to come in here and sit down and take pictures and do whatever. And it's honestly one of my favorite places to be, especially on a night like this. It's quiet, other than the occasional car, and it's just everywhere you look you're surrounded by lights, and it really comes out nice. This is another perspective of my back row of trees. These are all my tallest ones that I do from a cable. Those are all about 10 feet tall. Here's the back row view. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed except for me, but I do a pattern here. You'll notice I have red, white, and blue in the middle. I do that on both sides. Here's the back of our white shed. It has a nice big cool white tree on it. And here we are back where we started. I'm inside the other side of the forest of lights. This little circular tree back here was new this year. And unfortunately it doesn't get noticed very much. It gets swallowed up by the rest of it. But here's inside the forest of lights. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you're local to the area, please come out and see it. The pictures, the videos are nice, but I don't think they do it justice. There's nothing like seeing it in person. I'm blown away by it every time, and I'm the one that put it together. So, anyways, Merry Christmas from our family to yours, and hope you have a happy holiday season.